I'm Dre, and with my cameraman Mitty, we're taking you to the hottest dance parties and concerts around Toronto. You think you know it all? Well, tune in, because this is What's Poppin'. We're at Toronto BJJ here with the one, the only, Canada's own Lights. Lights, how you doing today?
I'm excellent. You know, I was just thinking this is the first interview I've done without shoes on.
Yeah, okay, all right. So can we actually just get a look at it? So I guess it's a milestone in my career here, the first.
I should give you an award or something for taking my interview without shoes flower.
I love that. You know, and speaking of awards, I want to talk about 2009 for you, which is looking at some things here. 2009 Juno New Artist of the Year, Solo Artist, Single of the Year, Indie Music Awards, nominated for 2 MMVAs, Pop Artist of the Year, Video of the Year, and you kicked off the tour. What kind of roller coaster has it been like for you, 2009, and just like in your career so far?
This has been an unbelievable year, and obviously I've been working up to this for a long time, just making music behind the scenes and everything, and this is really the first time I've really seen a result, and it's the most satisfying feeling ever. I mean, and it's funny how, you know, all these awards and nominations like kind of happen, and I'm on the road the whole year, so it's going back and picking up like the Juno, for example, in March. It was just like a nice break to take it all in, and it really just felt good for all the hard work. I've done like over 150 shows this year.
I wanted to talk about one of my favorite songs actually on the album, February Air. It was one of the songs actually you made a while back, but you put it on the album now. That was actually picked up to be on the Old Navy commercial.
Along with 3 other songs, actually.
What was that like for you? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but you weren't even signed at that time.
It was really awesome, and at the same time, I'd been spending so much time with my music and just developing it and making sure it was right. And this would have been essentially the world's first major way of seeing me, and I wanted it to be right and make sure that it didn't compromise my artistic integrity or the integrity of the music. So we went back and forth a lot, you know, with my manager and I, and talking to people at Old Navy, just making sure it was going to be right, and it turned out to be really, really sweet and fit the sentiment of the song, and it was awesome. And actually, they flew me to Argentina for it, which was awesome. So it was really, really awesome. I couldn't have asked for a better way to step out. About it was they didn't straight up say who the artist was in the commercials, so if people liked the song, they had to do a little bit of research and find it. And I feel like if you invest more than a minute into finding an artist, you feel a little bit that much more invested in the artist, and that was what was really cool about the way the campaign turned out.
Moving on from that, I want to talk about the Rolling Stone magazine article, and looking at your website and fans and just what they've been saying. One thing that I come across a lot is that they say that you're real. You know, Rolling Stone magazine, huge magazine. They've had everybody from Muhammad Ali to like Clay Aitken, and now we have Lights in there as well. What's that like for you to be in such a prestigious magazine? Tell me what it was like for you to be inside there.
It was actually one of the biggest landmarks. I mean, as small of a piece of the page that it was was such an honor, and I bought a couple copies of them and threw them in there. And it was the issue with Obama on the front, and I was like, I couldn't be happier. You know, it was awesome. And I've been reading Rolling Stone forever, and it's got so much cred. It makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing.
And it's crazy. And no article is small in the Rolling Stones, even if it's like a little bleep in there.
That's true.
Yeah. So I mean, that's crazy. So where is it right now? Is it posted up on the wall or something? On the fridge?
I have this sort of like tickle trunk of my favorite articles and stuff.
Tickle trunk.
Yeah.
Why did you name tickle trunk?
Isn't tickle trunk from like Hook or something? Is it from Hook? I don't know. It's like a toy trunk. I don't know. It's basically a trunk of treasures, and that's what it is.
Cool. So I wanted to talk about the debut album. It's available now. What is it like for you? I mean, the fans have been waiting for it. I'm sure you've been waiting for it as well. You've been making music for 10 years now. Finally have the album released. What's that like for you to finally have to release your album and so much positive feedback from it already?
Awesome. Honestly, one of the biggest advantages, aside from actually just launching my career officially, is being able to do a show and everyone is able to know all the words. I was doing the new songs for almost a year. Yeah, about a year before the record even came out, and there's really no way for people to know the song. So half the time during the show, I'm like playing the song, and people are like feeling it, but you know, they don't know it. So now people can actually sing to every word, and it's the coolest feeling ever. and it's just a great feeling. It just feels legitimate, and it's like my little. I'm someone who likes everything to be in a complete package and everything there, and that feels good.
And I'm glad you said that, a complete package, because I was actually on the website on iamlights.com, and I was reading some of the quotes the fans wrote, and I actually wanted to read a couple to you. One fan said, quote, "It's hard to express how much I love the listening. So many people have already said it so well. And I'll add that the album really feels that Light made it complete. From the musicality to the lyrics to the theme to the singing, the album doesn't lack anything." And you just said that you want everything to feel complete.
So that's awesome. Well, thanks for reading that to me. That made me really happy. I definitely strive to do that, you know. I have so much creativity in my head, and when I have a vision for something, there's not only one aspect of a cover. There's you know, the visual aspect, and then there's the sentiment, and then there's the, you know, the honest aspect, and I hope that comes across with the live show and artwork and everything, and I just want to reflect all of me as much as I can.
Definitely. And there's actually one other quote that stood out to me, and I wanted to read this one to you as well. The fan said, quote, "Amazing, it makes me feel like I'm in another world. Keep it up." And I just want to note here that there's a smiley face at the end of that. and the reason why I want to read that to you is because you said that you feel like your music is intergalactic electro music, so intergalactic, of course, being out of this world. And the fan actually said that they feel like they're in another world. So, I mean, what's that like for you just to hear that now and it's being conveyed so properly?
It makes me feel like I've learned enough over the course of my writing career to convey what I want to convey through my music, and it's a task for sure, learning how to take my experience of when I write, going into another place, and having it be so for the listener, and that's pretty cool. That's kind of acknowledgement of that.
But speaking of which, you know, when I think of intergalactic, I think of like the Jetsons or like, you know, flying cars and things like that. So, well, what I just want to ask, what would your planet be called?
That is a good question. You know what? You're actually the first person to ask me that.
Really?
That's very surprising.
It's another milestone. So no shoes.
You've got a couple of awards coming at you right now. I don't know what I would call it. I would probably call my first one. I would probably name them after my instruments. First one would be Russell. Second one, well, maybe Lance. Lance is my pet tarantula. And
I like the name Lance.
it's a good one, right? And I feel like it would make for a good planet name as well. Very positive, very simple.
Have you named anything Tuxedo Mask? Because I read that you like Sailor Moon. Actually, your album artwork is from Sailor Moon.
It's definitely inspired by the transformation scenes.
I did my research. I've been reading a bit. But just one other thing I also want to talk about, Ice Pack.
Yeah.
Just released Ice Pack. For those of us who are unfamiliar with it, tell us a little bit about what Ice Pack is about and why you released it.
Ice Pack is basically an EP of 7 remixes of Ice. Everywhere from Tim Armstrong from Rancid, so you're getting like the transplant Rancid punk style version of Ice, to Chaos, who did a remix and did it like a rap piece at the end. It's amazing, and it's really chill with guitar. And then there's Colin Monroe, an up-and-coming Toronto songwriter producer, and Danny Lohner from Nine Inch Nails did one, and it's just
Dead Man as well.
Yeah, and it's just unbelievable hearing all these different. I also did an elongated version, sat down with Spike Stent, who actually mixed the song, and we did this crazy dance version of it, and I threw in a couple extra vocals, and it was it's just so cool seeing this song take on so many different facets, and I hope that other people can see that too.
My mouth is frozen, so I can't even speak. I'm not the type to say sorry constantly.
So what was it like for you to hear it being remixed into different ways?
It was awesome. Honestly, it was so cool hearing all these remixes come in. And obviously, I had my thoughts about some of them, and some of them I had no thoughts at all on, just because, I mean, who am I to? It's almost me just giving my art to them and saying, do your art to it. And so I can't say anything to them. I can't tell them how to do their art. So it's just cool kind of hearing that meeting of minds and what would be 2 different worlds coming together. And there's really nothing you can say when it comes to that. It's just enjoy it, you know? It's awesome.
Thanks for speaking with us. I mean, anything you got to say to the fans out there that are watching the show?
Well, for starters, thank you for giving me those quotes coming from the fans. That's unbelievable. And honestly, I feel like the luckiest person in the world. That's all I can say. So I'm having so much fun. And it's been a crazy year, like 150 shows and all these things have happened. But I don't feel tired and I don't feel burnt out. I feel more energized and more like myself every day. So thank you and you. Hey, this is Lights, and you're watching What's Poppin' on BPM TV.